Hello, hello everybody. Melanie here from Mel's Inky Fingers. Happy Friday. We are 1 week closer to spring. Yay. So I'm going to make sure I'm in the right spot here and that you can all find me. Oh, it looks like I'm in the right spot, but for some reason it just kicked me off. Let's make sure. All right, there it looks like I'm live. And you can hear me. Yay! So now I can see your comments. So hello everyone, welcome, happy Friday. And when you jump on, say hello so I know you're here. Hi Tammy, welcome and happy Friday. I hope you had a great week and I hope you have a great weekend planned. Hi Julie, welcome. Today we are going to be working with the adorable Love Cats stamp set. This is such a cute set, and although I don't generally gravitate towards cat sets, I couldn't resist this because it's so cute. And we are going to make 2 pretty quick cards today. I wanted to make something that would be easy to create quickly so that you can make a bunch of them to share with family and friends, coworkers, neighbors, all the people that you would like to wish a happy Valentine's Day for. And there's still time to get your Valentine's projects done, but don't delay. You need to get all these goodies now while they're available and you still have time to make them. So happy Friday. You like that? Yes, I had to put them on a wall. Or her. I did put a bow on the tail. So happy Friday, everyone. I hope everyone had a great week. I hope that you're looking forward to a nice weekend. It's kind of chilly here. I'm looking out my window and I'm seeing snow falling in Northwest Ohio. I haven't been outside yet today, but I'm thinking it's not too warm if there's snow falling. So I'm just going to give everyone another minute or two to find us, and then we're going to dive in. We are going to be creating projects today from the brand new January to April 2023 mini catalog. It went live last week. It has super cute things in it, and I can actually show you the inside now. And not only do we get to use a whole new catalog full of great stuff, it's also celebration time. And celebration is always a fun promotion every year. Stampin' Up! Has done this every year that I can remember, but there's never any guarantees. So we are going to have one celebration this year. The last couple years we had 2, just one this year. So this is going to run from January until the end of February. So it's currently going until the end of next month. And if you are a customer of mine, you should have received your catalog. And if not, please let me know. I sent them quite a while ago. You should have received it by now. But nothing in this catalog can be purchased. You can earn these, though, free when you shop with any current Stampin' Up! Products. And there's no limit to what you can get out of this catalog. Now, I'm not using any of the celebration items on today's projects, although I really should have used this Favored Flowers because there's these lovely prints on the back. In fact, maybe I should grab a sheet real quick because we could make that on one of our projects. Let me grab that. I grabbed a pack. I can't resist because then you can see it. It's so pretty. I know I've used it a couple of times. You have had the opportunity to see the Favored Flowers Designer Series paper. I think I used it last week, didn't I? Did I use it last week? I think I may have. But maybe we will use it again today. So this beautiful Favored Flowers, we could use this really pretty petal pink on today's project because it will match it will match our cat. So for project 2, I used this country gingham, which I love, love, love. But we can also make an alternative using that petal pink. So don't forget to snag all the things that you want out of this before the end of the month. And these are while supplies last, so there's no guarantee how long they will be available. So everything in here is free when you shop. You can choose as many as you would like, and when they're gone, they're gone. Okay. I don't have my current host code sheet here, but I will post the current host code to the description of this video when we're done today. That way, if you do want to shop, you know what to use, and you get all the other gifts that I usually offer, which are your tutorial bundles, right? Okay. So let's get started. So we are going to make these 2 adorable projects today using the Love Cats stamp set. This is on page 13 of the new mini catalog. So if we go to page 13, we can see it here. Super cute. Oh, look, they even used the gingham paper. They made a cute red cat too and a brown. So you can use whatever color you would like. We are going to use 2 of the cat images today, and each of the images has a coordinating sentiment, although you can mix and match them and use whichever sentiment you would like. So we are going to use the Hi There Valentine and the I Love Hanging Out With You on the fronts of our cards. And then on the insides, I actually flip-flop them. So I put I Love Hanging Out With You inside this one, and I put Valentine inside this one, and I will show you how I got just the Valentine off of this Hi There Valentine stamp set. We are also going to use the Stamparatus. So for those of you who are not familiar with the Stamparatus, this is a positioning tool. It allows you to repeatedly stamp the same image in the exact same spot. That's one of the many uses. Now, why would you want to do that, you might ask? I'm going to show you why you might want to do that. It's also excellent if you like using background stamps to make sure you get a nice even image. And if you're making a whole bunch of the same card, it's really nice because it allows you to just quickly stamp, 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 stamp over and over, and it gets it in the same spot for you every time for your projects. So let's start with this card. All right, let's start with our Hi There Valentine card. So to make this project, you are going to want a thick basic white cardstock base, and this is a 4 1/4 by 11, and it's scored at 5 1/2. So it's just scored in half. You are going to want a piece of basic gray and basic white to punch out our sentiments. We are going to use the layering oval punch, and this is out of the annual catalog. You will want a piece of basic white for, did I not grab basic white to stamp my kitty cat with? Well, that's not good, but here, I do have an extra scrap. Here. Okay, so we'll just, I was going to show you something else on this, so we'll use this for our kitty cat. And then you will want a piece of basic gray to emboss our wall, and this is 2 1/2 by 4 1/4 basic gray, and then a piece of 4 1/4 by 1/2 inch for the top of our wall. All right, here is our brick and mortar embossing folder, and this is what we're going to use to emboss this gray with to create our wall. And then for embellishments today, we are going to use the Real Red ribbon out of the Real Red, and I think this is called Real Red and Burlap. I have to learn the names of all of the new products. So this is here as part of the Country Floral Lane suite. So this is the Real Red and Burlap ribbon combo pack. Yep, I was right. So it comes as a 2-pack. You get 5 yards of each. We're going to use the Real Red to put a little bow on the tail. And then we are also going to use some matte black dots. And we have some of those here, okay? Now for ink, we're going to use two colors. We're going to use Real Red and our Memento Black. So let's get started here. So let's start by stamping our cat, because I can show you how the Stamparatus is so beneficial. So we are going to ink up our stamp with our Memento Black. And whenever you have solid images like this, sometimes it can be hard to get really solid color on your stamped image. So let me show you what I mean. So I'm going to ink this up and stamp it. And when I do that, do you see how it's stamped, but it's not really nice and solid? I don't know if the camera hopefully is picking that up. But watch what our Stamparatus does. So let me clean this. And I'm going to take it off this block. And I'm going to bring in the Stamparatus. So the Stamparatus has these plates, and you can choose to position it on the side or on the top. It's your choice. Okay. So I'm going to position mine here on the top and bring it into the camera. And then I'm going to place my cardstock and use these magnets that come with it. These are super, super strong. So I've wrapped some washi tape, or you can use duct tape around them to help me move them. Okay. And so I'm going to put those to hold my card in place. But you'll notice I have this background paper here. I'm going to make sure it's tucked up in the corner so that I can use these grid lines for my paper to make sure that it stays lined up, just in case. See how hard they are to get apart? So you have to kind of turn them. When they come together, they are very hard to get apart. So they will hold your paper. So I'm just going to put this in place so that it doesn't move, because what I'm going to then do is I'm going to lay my stamp where I want to stamp it. And then I'm going to close my lid and just pick that stamp up. Now, if you lay your stamp case at the top, let me try to keep this all in view for you. At the top here, when you open this, it's the perfect height and makes it easy for you to ink. So I'm just going to ink up my cat. I'm just going to ink this up. I'm taking my ink pad right to my stamp, and then I'm going to close this. Okay, and you can see it looks the same. It's not completely filled in nice and dark. So I'm going to simply ink up my stamp again. Hi, Chris, welcome. We'll just ink this up again. And now this is going to stamp in the same exact spot because my paper has not moved. Okay, give the ink a second to transfer. And now you can see that you have a really nice black image. And just for good measure, I'm going to do this one more time. When I stamp solid black images, I love to use my Stamparatus and stamp over and over again to just get a really, really rich black image. So I'm going to do it one more time, and usually 3 times gives you an amazing image. So let's pick this up and I will show you the difference. Hopefully the camera is picking that up and you can see the difference in how nice and rich and black that image is now compared to when I just inked it and stamped it once. So that's one of the many uses for your Stamparatus. So now that I'm happy with this, I'm just going to take my chamois and just wipe off my stamp. And then I can put this back in my stamp case. And now I'm just going to set it there because I'm going to use that Stamparatus again. So now let's just set our cat aside. Actually, we are going to use that one more time because I forgot I wanted to do my hearts on my card base. So let's make our wall. So let's take our piece of basic gray and we're just going to put it in our embossing folder. And I'm just going to make sure it's straight. I'm going to use this line that's on the embossing folder to make sure it's straight, just because this is it doesn't have to be perfect because walls aren't necessarily perfect, but I'll put this in here and now I'm going to run this through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, which I have sitting on a separate table so I'm not so wiggly for you. All right, so here we go. So now we've made this really cool block wall, and that's going to go on our card front. So we're going to put this along the bottom of our card front, and then we have this 1/2-inch strip that's 4 1/4 wide, and we are going to put that right on top for the top of our wall, and we're going to rest our cat on that wall. But before we do that, I want to stamp these hearts. So I'm going to show you how I stamped the hearts and got them exactly where I wanted them to be. Okay, so I'm going to take my card base and put it down in my Stamparatus, and I'm just going to kind of tuck it right along the bottom edge here. So now I have my plate off to the side instead of coming from the top, which is really nice that we can put it in a couple different positions. And I'm going to just make sure that it's nice and clean. I have cleaned it off already. And I'm just going to set that cat kind of right where it's going to be when I add these pieces. Now these are not glued down yet because I want it to be nice and flat. Now I'm just going to come in and pick up my cat with my plate. Okay, so I just swung this down, picked it up, and now I can remove these pieces. And I'm going to keep my card base here and put my magnets on it so it doesn't move. And now I'm going to slide this over and show you what I'm going to do. Okay, I have this is a Post-it note that I have just cut in half with scissors, and I have the sticky here, and I'm just going to put that Post-it note here and here so that all I have exposed are the hearts. Hi Chris, welcome. Hi Amy. The cats are so cute, aren't they, Chris? I know. I don't know if I've ever played with a cat set before, but I seriously could not resist these. Okay, so I'm just inking these up with my Real Red ink pad, and then I'm going to peel these off and set them aside. And now I just have ink, aside from the fact that I got ink on the stamp, but it'll be okay. I have just those hearts inked, so now I can just ink them on my card front, and they're going to be exactly where I need them to be to line up my cat underneath it. And it allows you to have a second color on a stamp that has the images as one piece. Okay, so now that we've done that, let's bring in the rest of our card pieces and put our card together. Let me move these out of the way. And we're going to bring in our punch. We're going to need this for our sentiment. Let's adhere this in place. So I'm going to use a little bit of Stampin' Seal, or you could use Tombow. And I'm just going to line this up with the bottom of my card. Now sometimes I like to use Tombow because it does allow you to kind of slide it in place. I just want to make sure it's all the way down, so I'm kind of pushing it down onto the table. Okay, and now I'm going to add some dimensionals to this piece that's going to sit across the top of our wall. So let me grab our dimensionals, and we'll add a couple, 2, 3, whatever. we'll add that to the top of our wall. And hopefully it's straight. You can't get under the camera, so sometimes you're very crooked. All right, so now we're going to pull in those two pieces to create our sentiment. And I'm just going to stamp the Hi There Valentine in my Real Red ink. And I should have done it sideways so I could slide it in, but that's okay. It'll still work. Then when you use these punches upside down, you can line it up exactly where you want it. Okay? And then we'll take our basic gray and we'll punch out the oval for layering. And then we can just adhere this together. Hi, Julie. Welcome. Thanks, Tammy. I'm glad you like it. I wanted to keep them simple because the cats are so cute. And I love the contrast of colors when you layer them with the white. So I'm just adhering that in place. And this is going to go up here. But before we put that on, what I want to do is cut out my cat. So I'm just going to take my paper snips that I use for fussy cutting. I keep a separate pair of scissors that I use just for ribbon that I also fussy cut with to make sure there's no adhesive on them, because the adhesive sometimes sticks to your paper. It makes it a little more challenging. Now, the key to fussy cutting is you kind of want to get rid of all this extra. Actually, those hearts are coming off. That's around, so that you don't have a bunch of extra cardstock in your way. And then you simply move your paper, not the scissors. And I like to use the whole blade. So open that blade up nice and wide, because the less you have to open and reposition, the smoother you can get the edges around your image. Now this is going to be up against white on the top part, so you don't have to cut it super close. If there's a little bit of white, it's okay. I'm not cutting this super close to my image. I agree, Julie, they are really cute, and I love the sentiments that go along with them. Okay. So you can see it's not that hard to cut these out. See how I'm moving my paper and not my scissors? And that's the key to making fussy cutting easy. What we have left is this tail. Let's get this tail. You can always come back in and get your edges again if need be. I'm going to cut that off. Okay. And then we're going to put this little kitty cat right here on the wall. Okay. And see how the little hearts sit right above its head? Isn't that cute? So this is already raised up on a dimensional, so I'm going to put dimensionals behind the head and back, and then a little bit down here on the tail, and then it'll sit nice and flat on the wall. I think I'm also going to come in, take just a little more of the white off along the bottom, because I left it kind of thick, but that's okay. It's not hard to do that. And I'm going to do the same thing here. And then I'm just going to kind of make this foot match the rest of the underside a little bit. There we go. All right, so let's add our dimensionals. I have some mini dimensionals and big dimensionals, and I think I'm going to put a mini here on the back and a mini on the head. And then I'm going to take, not with my fussy cutting scissors though, I'm going to take a little tiny strip here and put it down on the bottom portion of the tail. Right down here. And then that should stay quite well. Okay, cute. Now let's add our sentiment. And there we go. Let's fold this and burnish it nice with our bone folder. All right, so now let's bling this up just a little bit. So I'm going to use some of my small, oh, I left my take your pick tool over on my desk. So I have this. So I'm going to add some of the small black circles and just kind of connect this like a little thought bubble. And then you could choose to put a little bow on the tail or not. I'm going to add it because why not? So I'm just going to take my ribbon, and I like to tie my bows on the spool because I never always know how much I need. Hi, Michelle, welcome. And I'm just going to tie my bow. If you leave your spool on the right, you can tie your bow while it's attached, and then that way you don't have to try to guess how much ribbon you need and then have too much to have to cut off. So I'm going to make a small bow. Doesn't need to be very big because the kitty's tail isn't very big. And then I'm going to put it on with a little glue dot. I'm just going to push it down on there, and then I'll use my little tool to, and there you go. Now let's do something on the inside. So I have Hi There Valentine, and I kind of like this I love hanging out with you because the kitty's just kind of hanging out on the wall. You can kind of picture this kitty waiting for you to come home and be happy to see you. So let's take our Real Red ink. I always like to match my inside sentiment with the same color that I use on the outside. I'm just going to ink it up and stamp it on the inside. I love hanging out with you. And there you go. What do you think? You like that one? Thanks, Chris. Oh, thanks, Julie. Hi, Jenna, welcome. So that's our first card for today. So now I have one more to show you. Thank you. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Jonah. I'm glad you like this. So let's move on to our second card. So here's our second card. We're going to use this little kitty that's caught up on the line of little hearts. Yes, you do. So who has cats? Do any of you have cats or kittens? I do not because I'm allergic, unfortunately. So we're going to bring our Stamparatus back out. Oh, you have two sassy ones. Oh my. Is this something they would do? Is get caught playing? Now I like to put my magnets here. It makes it easy to grab them sometimes. You just don't want them too close together or they will smush. Oh, Polly. Oh, that's a cute name, Julie. I like that name. All right, so I have my kitty already on my plate. So I'm just going to slide these over here. And hopefully I remembered to put white cardstock in my next tray or else I'm not going to be able to stamp it. And it looks like I did. Whew, good thing. So we have Polly. Jonah, what are the names of your kitties? All right, so what do we need to create our next card? We are going to want another thick basic white cardstock base, and this is cut 5.5 by 8.5, and I have it scored at 4 1/4. So let's just burnish this score line nicely with a bone folder. Oh, Mocha. Oh, and Buttercup. Oh, that's cute. That's a cute way to name your kitty. I have a friend who found a cat when she came out of work one day. It was just kind of tucked underneath her car. It was a kitty and clearly had been out wandering for a while, and she also named it after the place where she found it. So that's a fun way to name your pet. So our thick basic white card base. Then we are going to want a piece of card designer series paper, that's cut 4 1/4 by 5.5. So the same size as our card base front. Now, this is what I used on my sample. So let's talk about this. You get to help me pick paper. So this gingham is from the Country Gingham Designer Series paper collection. It's beautiful. It is all different types of plaid in 3 different colors. You have 4 different colors. You have petal pink, soft sea foam, or is it mint macaron? Mint macaron. It's balmy blue, petal pink, mint macaron, and sweet sorbet. So I used the sweet sorbet on my card here. I thought that perhaps I would make it balmy blue so you could see what it looked like in balmy blue. But then when I started talking about celebration, I thought maybe it would be fun to use the petal pink from our favorite flowers. So what do you think? Do you want the same? Do you want balmy blue, or do you want petal pink? Which one would you like me to make it with? You pick. Who has a preference? Tell me what you would like. These are our 3 choices. Ooh, Julie likes the sweet sorbet. I do like the red with black. Red's my favorite color. Ooh, Julie likes the petal pink. Okay. Anyone else? Does anyone else have a preference? What color should we put in the background of our card? Should we use sweet sorbet, balmy blue, or petal pink? I know there's a little delay. All right, we have 1 vote each for 2 colors. Since Julie jumped on first, let's use the sweet sorbet. Okay, so we are going to cut our designer series paper 5.5 by 4 1/4. Oh, Jonah likes the sorbet too. Okay, tiebreaker. Yes. Will the hearts match back? You can make the hearts match the back, or you can make them whatever color you would like. I think that any type of red heart is neutral enough, but pink hearts are adorable. You could make any color hearts. You could make all different color hearts. Pink is cute for Valentine's Day. I agree. Pink hearts would be really cute. All right, then for our layers, we would like the largest. Oh, you mean a pink background with the, hi Jean, welcome. You meant the background. So will the hearts match the background? You can use whatever color hearts you would like. They can be the same color or a different color. So I cut one scalloped rectangle from the Scalloped Contour die set. You know this is one of my favorites. This is what it looks like. It coordinates with the matching stamp set in the annual catalog, but you know I use these a ton. What I love most is that every rectangle is just a bit different. So I'm using the largest one on this project. So you can see it has this open scallop. You can see the open scallop around the edge. You can also cut that off to make a really cute little layer that you can make a decorative edge with. And all the sizes have a different detail. So this is stitched, or I guess that would be pierced. This one is stitched. This one cuts open slits, and then you have the smallest one, which is eyelets. And then if you want a big scallop border, you have this lovely border die. If you do not have these, you need them. You do not know how much you're missing them. And what better time to add them to your order than during celebration. All right, so then we have a layer that I have cut just big enough to layer inside my rectangle. Now, if you're using a different size rectangle, you can adjust the size of your layer accordingly. I had the dimensions written down and I lost my little sheet. So it looks like this is 4 5/8 by 3 1/4, and it fits inside this largest contour rectangle, scallop contoured rectangle. Hi, Kristen, welcome. Now this is what we're going to stamp on, okay? Then you will also want a piece of basic white cardstock for your sentiment. This one is cut 2 1/4 by 1 inch. And then you will want a scrap of cardstock to die cut your hearts. This is Sweet Sorbet. It does match my paper. And what I'm going to use to die cut those hearts is this die set. It's called Give It a Whirl. It's out of the annual catalog. It does lots of different things. So the one thing this die set does, and let me show you all of the dies because it's a big set. It does not coordinate with any one stamp set because it goes with many stamp sets. You can use this piece, this opening, and this big piece to make interactive cards where you can spin them and have different images pop up through the window. But it's a hidden gem for so many other detail dies. You have hearts, stars, clouds, you have labels, and then you have these little arrows which are fun. If you're making the spinny cards, it allows you to show your recipient the direction that you spin your card, but sometimes you just want these fun arrows. You can die cut them into your background. These arrows just add stitching. These actually cut out itty bitty little arrows. So there are a lot of really fun dies in here, not just for making interactive cards. And we are going to use the smallest heart and the medium. There's 3 different sizes, or 4 different sizes. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this, you can see how they are for size comparison. Okay, so they kind of nest. We're going to use the 2 smallest, okay? So I'll set those aside. And we are going to cut out hearts to put along our little line that our kitty is caught on. And I cut out 5 total. I popped one up to cover the little heart that he's holding. You could either color it in with a marker or put a heart over the top. It's your choice. And then I added some to the clothesline. So I did cut a couple of them already, just so that you didn't have to watch me cut a bunch of hearts. So let's bring in our mini die cutting machine and finish cutting these. Now this little beauty, see this little beauty? This is the limited edition boho blue. Oh, you're listening while you work. I love that. This is the mini boho blue Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. This is an exclusive item to Celebration, and you can get this as part of your starter kit if you join my team between now and the end of February. Now, as a demonstrator, we were able to pre-order it, and I love it. Is it not the cutest? And do you like the color? What do you think of this color? Is it not beautiful? It's a sneak peek of what's coming. Uh-oh, what did I do with my little dies? Where did I put them? Oh, I lost my dies, guys. Oh, here they are. They're right in front of my face. Now, this is very light and compact. It's meant to be portable. So I like to put my silicone mat underneath it because it does keep it from sliding and it does make it easier to die cut with. So I'm just going to put these hearts on my cutting plates and run this through. Hopefully my paper doesn't slide so I can cut okay. So there we go. So this boho blue is going to be one of the brand new in colors in the annual catalog that's going to launch later this year. Isn't that exciting that we have that sneak peek? So if you love that machine and would love to have a mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, if you join my team by the end of February, you have 3 choices for your starter kit. You can choose, and you get extra product this month. So you can choose to get $175 in product of your choice for $99 plus tax, and Stampin' Up! Even ships it to you free. Can you believe that? And you also get a paper pumpkin kit, and you get some catalogs and some other goodies. I mean, it is just an incredible deal. Or for $129 plus tax, you can choose any $175 in product that you want, and you can either get the blue mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, or you can get it in our standard white color that is featured in our regular catalog. It's your choice. But I don't know how you could pass up that blue unless you really don't like blue. I'm looking for my dimensionals. There they are. They're hiding underneath my red ink pad. So I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of this, and I'm just going to put this in the center of my card. So if that sounds awesome to you, I will put the link to join my team in the description of this video when we're done. All you have to do is click on it, and it will take you right into the sign-up form, and you can pick that embossing machine. You won't regret it. All right, so let's do some stamping. So we have our hearts here. We're going to stamp our sentiment and our cat. I'm going to stamp both of those in my Memento black ink. So first things first, I'm going to stamp my sentiment and get that ready. And then I'm going to use my banner pick-a-punch. You know, if you visit me here on Fridays, you also know this is one of my favorites, and it's a great time to get it again during Celebration. All these staple items. Get it while you can get free stuff, right? Who doesn't love free stuff? And then let's stamp our cat. So I'm just going to bring this back in, and I'm going to pull this off because it's easier. It's easier to put my cardstock down and get it where I want it, and then put my cat exactly where I want it. So I'm going to center it right along the top, and then I'm just going to pick it up with my Stamparatus, ink it up, and we'll stamp it a couple times to get it nice and black. I kind of smushed it a little too hard over on this edge, but that's okay. Now remember, this is staying in the same place. It's stamping in the same exact place, and it's going to give me this nice deep black image on my cat. One more time. Isn't that great? You can see how nice and crisp that image is. So let's just clean this off with my Stampin' Chamois, and then we can put our card together. Now there is a place to store these on the bottom of your Stamparatus. So when you are done creating, you can put these underneath for storage, and then you can put your grid back on there, and you can just slide this. I store mine in my cabinet like this, so it takes up very little space. All right. So now I'm going to adhere this right down to my die cut rectangle here. And then we are going to add our hearts. So I'm just going to center this. And I like having a little bit of border from that scallop around it. Isn't that cute? He's so cute. So the first thing I'm going to do is take a mini dimensional, and I'm going to pop up the heart that's going to sit right at the edge of his paws. So let's do that. It's cute just like that, isn't it? And then we can arrange our little hearts like they're hanging on a clothesline here. You can arrange them whatever way you would like. And then once you're happy with them, the reason why I wanted my take your pick tool, let's see. Oh, I do have it. Yay, I put it in my bin so I didn't forget it. I was almost too organized. So this is the take your pick tool. If you're not familiar with this, you have lots of different options. So this is the putty end, and it works really great for picking things up and putting them right down in place. You can pick up small embellishments like sequins and so forth. This end has a pokey tool, or you twist it and unlock it and flip it over, and it's a spatula that you can help get underneath a layer if you need to lift it up, or you can scoop up and place gems and so forth. Okay, so I'm going to use my Tombow glue and my putty end, and I'm just going to pick that up and put a little dot there. Once you get it lined up exactly how you want it, it makes it easy for gluing things down. And I'm just putting a tiny little drop of Tombow here and hanging these off of the clothesline. And then I'm going to take a little bit of black twine. This is from the Baker's Twine Essentials pack. It is a great basic embellishment to keep on hand because it comes in all kinds of neutrals. You get white, black, I think there's some crumb cake and maybe some gray granite, and I think there's 5 colors total. So I'm just going to make a little bow here, trim my ends even, And I'm going to add a little dot of glue to the top of my big heart. I did one big heart and then 4 small ones. And then I'm just going to tuck that right down. You could use a glue dot if you wanted. And then for the sentiment, I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals on the back of this. And I'm going to adhere it. I like to break up long lines. So I'm just going to take this and adhere it, line it up with the edge of my card and adhere it in place. And there's the front of our card. Now, let me show you what I did on the inside. I wanted this to say, I love hanging out with you, Valentine. So I'm going to take the Hi There Valentine stamp and I'm going to do, this is called omitting. I am going to use that Post-it note that I used earlier that I cut in half. And I'm just going to put it right over the top part of the stamp to block off the hi there, and then I can stamp it in my ink it up really well, and then peel this off. Don't forget to peel it off. I've done that before where I've blocked off a part of a stamp and then I just turned and stamped it with those Post-it notes on it. It didn't go so well, and then I can just stamp this inside my card. And I have just the word Valentine. So it says, I love hanging out with you, Valentine. Isn't that cute? Now you could also take it just a step further if you wanted. And stamp the little hearts from the kitty cat. I have to find what I did with my kitty cat stamp. I took it off my, oh no I didn't. So you could do the same thing with this. You could take this stamp and you could put these on there and ink it up with your red ink and stamp some hearts on the inside. Or you could stamp some hearts on your envelope. That would be super cute. So we can just open this up and stamp some hearts. So there you go. There's your second card. What do you think? Aren't those cute? Such a cute stamp set. Which one do you like better? Do you like the kitty on the wall or the kitty stuck on the clothesline? Which one do you like better? Do you have a preference? I know there's a little delay, so I'll give you a minute to answer me. Oh, the clothesline kitty. Julie likes the clothesline kitty. He is pretty cute. Oh, Chris does too. Clothesline kitty for the win, right? Oh, Julie likes them both. They were fun to make. And neither one of them necessarily require a lot of supplies. Hi, Carol, welcome. Thanks for joining me today. So if you wanted to, you don't have to emboss this. You could use a patterned gray of some sort, a piece of designer series paper, and stamp your kitty. And for this one, if you wanted, you could just use a layer of cardstock or a coordinating color of designer series paper and stamp your kitty. So you could dress it up as much or as little as you want. So again, this is the Love Cats stamp set from page 13 of the new January to April 2023 mini catalog. So I will put the link to my online store if you wanted to grab your supplies. so that you can just click on that and get your supplies. I will put the current host code there. Remember, I thank all my customers who shop with an order of at least $50 with a tutorial bundle with 12 projects. It varies each month, and during this month and next month, don't forget that you also get to choose a celebration item, so you get to double dip, okay? And if you really want to shop, if your wish list is long, now is the month to do it, because you could choose this adorable blue mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine when you join my team. Plus, you get monthly tutorials, you get meetings, there's prize patrols, all kinds of fun. We have all kinds of fun, all right? So thank you, everybody. I appreciate you joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the little kitty cards, and I will look forward to seeing you next week, Friday at 1 p.m. All right? Bye, everybody.